Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to this week's weekly live immigration attorney chat here at Immigration for Couples. I'm attorney Megan Pastrana, and if you are new to our Facebook page, or actually I'm streaming live, I should say, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So wherever you're watching, welcome. And if you are new to our firm, Immigration for Couples, we are dedicated exclusively to helping couples, and we help couples across the nation and across the world in navigating the U.S. immigration process. And we know how important it is if you are going through an immigration journey, whether you're just starting out or in the middle of that journey, it's so important to have clarity and support. And that's exactly why we host these weekly chats. And we have a free resource center at immigrationforcouples.com. I really encourage you to check out that free resource center. It's very robust. And if you are starting out and you're feeling lost in that alphabet soup of, do I do a K1, a fiance visa, or a CR1 spouse visa? What are my options? There is a free webinar in that resource center that I really dive into the four main options that are available to couples, eligibility requirements, and your next steps, and how to really have a successful immigration journey. So I really invite you to check that out. That resource center was created with so much care and consideration and love for couples who are going through an immigration process. So for those of you who are here regularly, you know the drill. Please tell me, where are you in the world currently? Where are you watching? And I love to see where all of our couples are at in the world. So just throw city, country, state, where are you at? We have a Singapore. That's awesome. Tallahassee, Florida. Keep them coming. Watching from the UK. It's great to have you again, Ginger. I know you've been here a couple weeks now watching live, so great to have you again. Mark, great to have you. Ohio and Ireland. Oh, my dream. I want to go to Ireland. That's one of the places I've been wanting to go. All right. So I want to give a quick announcement about the proposal that happened from the Biden administration recently and what that means and what the benefit is and who should be aware. And then I will go over everyone's questions. I know we have a lot of questions here that are coming into the comments, so please keep them coming, and I will answer as many questions I have in the next 30 minutes. But first and foremost, I want to go over the new program, the executive order, the announcement from the Biden administration, in the effort of uniting families, keeping families together. The Biden administration has announced a new program. The program will not go into effect until later this summer. We're very excited about this. This is going to be a great opportunity for our current clients, and then maybe some individuals who have been afraid to get the immigration process started. So who is eligible? Individuals are eligible if they are currently in the United States without documents, and they have been here. You've been here for at least 10 years since. So we're talking, this was announced June 17th of 2024. So 10 years prior to that. So from June 2014 to June 2024, you have to be married to a US citizen. And so if you're a US citizen watching this and you know, you and your spouse have been looking, your spouse is currently undocumented. If you were married before June 17th of 2024, your spouse has been here for at least 10 years, will likely be eligible for this program, and you should get started now. So even though the process, the filing window doesn't open until later this summer, our firm has helped couples. We've been doing this for over a decade now, and we've helped with other types of executive orders and announcements like this. So we know what is happening, we know what is required, and we know how to be proactive and begin the process now. You'll want to have your application ready to file when that filing window opens at the end of this summer. So I really encourage you, if you think that you might be eligible, your first step is really going to be talk with an immigration attorney. Please feel free to call our firm. You can book a consultation on our website, immigrationforcouples.com. We have many people who are scheduling consultations and are wanting to get the ball rolling. So you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. And like I said, there's a lot we can do right now, collecting that physical presence evidence, making sure you show that you are deserving of this benefit, having that proof of your relationship, and really just getting everything ready now and making sure you're eligible. So I wanted to make that announcement. I will continue to make that announcement every week as things develop and give you updates on that program, because it's a huge opportunity, a great opportunity. And this program is going to allow you to be able to have something called parole in place. And that parole in place is ultimately going to allow you a path to a green card for us to be able to complete your entire process here in the United States without you leaving, so you can receive a green card. And it's also great because previously, or currently rather, if you are in that situation where you're in the US and you're currently undocumented, or if you're a US citizen and you're married to someone who is currently undocumented, the process involves a waiver of forgiveness. And for our clients who are going through that process, taking way over 5 years to complete. And so this new process is going to shave off a lot of time. So it's super important. I want to make sure everyone's aware of this, and I will be announcing it every week and letting you know of any updates. All right. So I have individuals. Yay, Italy. Awesome. Washington, D.C. Awesome. Vermont, UK. I'm in the US, but your husband's in Morocco. That's awesome. California, Texas. See, this is so much fun. I told my family when I was little, I kept saying, I'm going to work with people all over the world. And I love doing this and seeing everybody from all over the world. And Lisa, you're with us. One of our super fans. Great to have you. You're driving, but you're here listening. Awesome. And it's great to have you with us as well. I know you've joined us in prior weeks too. All right. So I have some questions. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions. So good morning. My fiance and I met here in the USA while I was on a work permit. Now his job let him go. We want to get married. What route do we need to take? So it sounds like you met while you were here working, and then the job let him go. I'm not sure if I follow all of the details of the conversation, but it'll really depend. I would need a lot more information from you to tell you what is the path that you should take. Depending on your fiance's status, I'm guessing one of you is a US citizen and then one of you came on a work permit. Depending on the circumstances, sometimes there's something called adjustment of status. That's something that's available to individuals who came to the US, and they came to the US with the intention, for example, on a tourist visa to just come and visit, or a student visa to just come and study. And while here, you met someone, you fell in love, and then the end of that study, your studies came to an end, or that visa came to an end, and you decided, hey, we're in love and we want to be together. And then the path would be typically adjustment of status. Now, please don't go out and file an adjustment of status application. I'm not saying that you're eligible for that. I would need more information to know for certain. Adjustment of status is a tricky beast, and it really has a lot of requirements. And one of them is making sure that you are filing your application with the right intentions, because if not, it can have a lot of negative impacts. There are a lot of rumors out there that you can just come on a tourist visa, get married, and then stay here and file for adjustment of status. But that's actually contrary. That's not in alignment with the law. So it sounds like possibly adjustment of status. I would really encourage you to schedule a consultation. I'd be happy to speak with you in a consultation in private about your situation and options that are available to you in next steps. You can also check out our free resource center at immigrationforcouples.com. As I mentioned earlier, there is a webinar, a free webinar where I go into the different paths that are available to couples. What are the requirements and what are the steps in the process? So you could also check that out as well if you're not ready for a consultation. All right. But great question. All right. Now, so Kevin, Tallahassee, Florida, is it true that the fiance visas are being processed by US in as little as 2 months? Is this accurate? So yeah, we're actually seeing the fiance visa cases are really picking up. So it's been really great news. We've actually had some that have come in a month. Now, understand immigration wait times are always all over the board. And when I was meeting with clients earlier in the year, the fiance visa wait times were still on average about 8 to 10 months, give or take. And then all of a sudden in the past few months, we have definitely seen the fiance visa wait times speed up significantly. So if you're in a fiance visa process, hopefully you'll get a fast decision as well. That is the very first step. And there are still other steps in the process to actually get the visa. So the very first step has sped up the petition, but the time it takes to go through the National Visa Center and then get scheduled for an interview, that can still take some time. But yes, the petition is going faster. Okay. So we have another question here. All right. Good morning. Thank you. I hope you're doing well also. You just wanted to ask, does the passport request at the embassy mean visa is approved after 221G? So if you received a 221G, it's either because there were documents missing or they had concerns about whether or not you're eligible. After you have completed whatever the requirements are of the 221G, sometimes there are ways that you can just submit documents. Other times you might need a waiver. Sometimes there's more serious issues. But if they are intending to approve the visa, sometimes they will request your passport. I can't say conclusively it's good news if they're asking for the passport, but we've definitely seen where they might ask for the passport and then still need other documents and sometimes another interview. But requesting the passport is a good sign. So good luck. Hopefully you get a good decision soon. All right. Okay, so my question for today, please. My fiance and her 19-year-old daughter are pending interview for the 485 process. Okay, you're doing the I-864 financial affidavit. Can I combine my fiance and daughter on one, or do I need a separate? So every single green card application requires their own financial affidavit. If you have not started the adjustment of status process yet, and if you're needing assistance, that's one of the more complicated phases in that fiance visa process, and you want to make sure you're doing that right. And so you are sending two separate applications that have their own separate requirements. All right. If you're needing help with that, please feel free to schedule a consultation. But that's great that they're pending an interview. Hopefully you get some good news soon. All right. Oh, and then I think I have a repeat of a question here. Oh, yeah. So if you ask me your questions, just ask them once, please. That would be great. Just throw them in and I go in the order I receive them. Since I am streaming on 4 different platforms, I'm getting questions from everywhere, and I'll just go through and answer the questions as they come in. So I promise I'm not ignoring you if I haven't gotten to it yet. Okay. Let's see. Just want to ask this past, oh yeah, so we went over. So yeah, I'm getting a couple duplicate questions. Okay. Go through here. Okay, well, congratulations on your marriage. That's exciting. What is the next step in getting to the United States? So you are going to be going through something called a spouse visa process. And I encourage you to check out our free resource center at immigrationforcouples.com. Your very first step in the process, I really encourage you to speak with an immigration attorney because there's a lot that's involved in the first step, even beyond just filing the petition. So the petition is going to be the first step. You'll be filing a petition with USCIS. And with that petition, you're proving that you have a real relationship based on love. So you're going to want to collect relationship evidence. And in our free resource center, we do have a relationship evidence guide. But you're also going to want to start proactively preparing for the future steps in the case. There's an affidavit of support where you'll have to prove to immigration that you make enough to be the sponsor for your husband's case. And then there are other requirements too that will happen in the future, background check and things of that nature. But the very first step is proving that love is real. But congratulations on your marriage. That's very exciting. And check out the free resource center. And I'm happy to speak with you privately in a consultation if you're wanting help with the next steps or the entire process. All right. Okay. So is the 90-day rule still applied? My fiance coming from another country and we'll get married right away. I'm a green card holder. She has a B1, B2. Okay. So your situation is a little bit more complicated because you are a green card holder. Green card holders can petition for their spouse, but you're in a category of what they call non-immediate relatives. So there'll be a longer line that you'll have to wait in to be able to get to that finish line. You may want to look at naturalization. I'm not sure how long you've been a green card holder. And to answer your question, absolutely, the 90-day rule 100% applies, and it's even more strict nowadays. So for those of you who aren't aware of the 90-day rule, I actually have had so many questions about this that I posted some videos recently on the YouTube channel and on our website. So again, I'll throw that in there, the resource center you can check out. There's a blog that we did and a video where I talk about this 90-day rule. And so the 90-day rule is basically when you are coming to the United States on a tourist visa like this, the B1, B2, if you're coming to the United States on a tourist visa or on ESTA, your intention must be that you're coming for a visit, because that's the purpose of ESTA. That's the purpose of a tourist visa. And if you come and you get married and you file a green card application and you do this in under 90 days, immigration's going to say, whoa, wait, it looks like you are coming with the intention to get married and file this green card application. That's not allowed. So does that mean that you can wait until day 91 and you're free and clear? No, it does not. Sadly, I've seen individuals who, have read these things online and thought that these rumors were true, and then they would come on this tourist visa and get married on day 91 or 92 or a little bit after. And then they go to immigration and then their case gets denied and they are told that they committed fraud and misrepresentation. And that's scary. And we definitely don't want that to happen to anyone. So yes, the 90-day rule still applies. You need to be very careful. And the other thing you need to be aware of is that you're a green card holder. So adjustment of status is not going to be a process that's available to you. I threw up the scheduling the consult. There's the phone number at the bottom. I'd definitely be happy to speak with you in private and in more detail about your specific situation, so we can talk about what is the best path and the best way for both of you to move forward with the process. All right. Excuse me. Goodness. Okay, great question. So you're from Nigeria. Can my fiance apply for the K1 visa ourselves without the help of attorneys? So yes, you are able to. You are not legally required to hire an immigration attorney for your case. But it's important to think about your immigration journey and the importance of the immigration journey, your risk tolerance, and your bandwidth really for teaching yourself immigration. And like I said, the risk tolerance and the peace of mind. You're going to have to teach yourself immigration. There's a lot of pitfalls that can happen in the immigration process. And I'm saying all of this not just because I'm an immigration attorney, but I've seen so many couples who have done their own case and then come to me in the middle, and maybe they did the wrong process, or they weren't eligible, or they missed some important steps or some important evidence, or they're in a fraud investigation because of missteps. So that's what I mean by risk tolerance, understanding, yes, you are an intelligent individual. I'm sure you can figure it out, but what is your risk tolerance? And also, how much of your time do you have available to be spending on the immigration case? Is it better invested in focusing on your significant other, putting your case in expert hands and having that peace of mind? So yes, you can do the case without an immigration attorney. You just really need to put all of that in balance. And what is the journey that you want for yourself? And what is the value of having an expert on your side is really the questions that you'll have to ask yourself. All right. Okay, so I think I understand the order, but want to confirm, even though my husband checked off pretty much everything from the list, he ended up having to leave his interview and was informed he needed a waiver. Now, almost 2 years now, he's been waiting in his home country. The order is not applicable in our situation now. I think are you meaning the order, the announcement that I was talking about earlier, probably is what you're talking about from the Biden administration. So, yeah, this is a very difficult situation, and I'm sorry, to hear that you're both in this situation. Waiver cases are very complex. If you haven't filed the waiver, hopefully you have. If you haven't filed the waiver, you need to get that filed as soon as possible, and we'd be happy to help you with that process. And I can throw up our contact information again. But the new order is for individuals who are currently in the U.S. It sounds like that he went to an interview abroad, and that he's outside. He's been waiting in his home country. So this order would not this new announcement from the Biden administration would not be applicable in this situation, you'll still need to make sure you file that waiver. And again, feel free. We've helped thousands of couples successfully complete the waiver process, and we'd be happy to help you if you haven't gotten that filed. But unfortunately, no, that new order wouldn't be applicable in this case. Thank you for the question, though. I'm sure a lot of people have the same question. Okay, Chad, you're very welcome. I'm happy to hear that they've helped. Okay, so you sent your application 2 weeks ago and have yet to receive a receipt or response. Pretty normal. Takes about a month, oftentimes. So hopefully you kept a copy of everything and you had sent it by priority or some form of tracking so you can see it was delivered. And typically, if you sent payment method, you'd be able to see that the fee is cleared. So good luck with your case. Of course, you can make an appointment. You can definitely make an appointment with me. I'd be happy to speak with you. There's the phone number, 317-247-5040. Lisa or Taylor will be able to help get you scheduled, and I look forward to talking with you soon. All right. And you can also schedule on the website. I should mention that if you go to the immigrationforcouples.com website. Okay, so good morning to you too. What if you had the patrol when I sent the paperwork, then sent it back? Yeah, there's possibility. It sounds like you're asking about the parole and the parole in place. So that your husband's in the military. Yeah, the military parole in place. That's still in place, and we've helped many couples and actually children petitioning for their parents successfully receive green cards under the military parole in place. So yeah, you should be eligible as well for the new law. And I would need to ask you more questions and know more about your situation to be able to tell you what path is going to be the best. It sounds like you definitely need to speak with an attorney. It sounds like you have a couple different options for your green card, but I need to ask you some more questions. But it sounds like you definitely have some great options. So there's the phone number, 317-247-5040, or you can book that appointment on our website at immigrationforcouples.com. But it sounds like that you have some options there. All right. You're very welcome, and you're very welcome too. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting married in Mexico, and one requirement is to have your birth certificate. Where do you get that done? So if you mean for the immigration process, they don't require the apostille, but typically a consulate would be able to do the apostille if you're needing that for the marriage in Mexico. All right, but congratulations on the upcoming marriage. It's exciting. So how do consultations go? You'd like to schedule one later. Oh, are you worried about immigration? I think is what you're saying, somehow going through your emails and your Zoom calls. Everything with our firm is completely private and confidential. There are legal rules and ethics, and I would keep it confidential even if there weren't, because that's just, in good faith, and this is your life and your private information. But everything is 100% safe and confidential and stays with our office, with me. Everything we talk about stays private. All right. It is a safe place. Oh, and then Julie put up the 90-day rule. That's awesome. Thank you, Julie. Give a shout out to Julie. She's always here helping. Okay, what are the minimum financial requirements to be qualified to sponsor my fiance for a visa? So Roger, the affidavit of support requirements will depend on your household size. So your household size is how many dependents do you claim on your taxes and how many individuals do you care for, individuals that live in your home or require financial support from you. And then that household size will be used to determine how much you need to make. And the I-864P poverty guidelines is what immigration puts out to show how much an individual needs to make. So it really will depend, but it's going to come from that total income line of your taxes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you have filed your waiver. That's good. Do you see the I-601 waivers processing ever going down? They've continued to rise. I know it's brutal for so many of our clients that are going through it. It is, the wait times are very long. I am hopeful that with this new executive order, with this new announcement from the Biden administration, that will remove a lot of need for a different kind of waiver called an I-601A waiver. If that backlog can be decreased, then it should help free up some resources to be able to, for officers to be able to make decisions on the I-601 waivers faster. Immigration has they put out an announcement last year that they were making a very intentional, concerted effort to focus on processing times and reduce processing times. We are seeing in the fiance visa naturalization, we're seeing those wait times go down. We're starting to see the spouse visa go down. And so we're hoping that they're going to continue with their efforts and continue to see reductions. I'm an optimistic person. I hope they will. When wait times are too long, though, we do file mandamus actions to sue the government to get things moving. But we will see. A lot will depend on the election as well. So a plug in there for anyone who's a U.S. citizen, be sure to vote in the elections. All right. Okay. Okay. That's not what you meant. So it is definitely going to be a Zoom call or a phone call. It's not possible to have a consultation really through emails. Our consultation is very thorough. I start out by really getting to understand your relationship and your goals, advising you on what's the best path and our next steps. And then part of that consultation is I know you're interviewing us, you're interviewing our firm, and we interview the clients that are potentially wanting to work with us so we can make sure there's a good fit. So yes, it'll happen on Zoom or phone. All right. Hopefully that helps make it clear. How long does it take USCIS to approve I-130 petitions? We're seeing about a year. We're seeing about a year for the first step, give or take. We've had some approved in 11 months, some taking closer to 13. And then that's just for the petition. There is still going to be a wait after for the interview, but it's been sitting at a year. Okay. Okay. So do you have to, so this was a question. I don't know if you were on here earlier when somebody was asking about hiring an attorney. Legally, you don't have to hire an immigration attorney, but the process is complex and there's a lot of pitfalls. And so it's really good to think about what do you want for your immigration journey and experience? What is your risk tolerance? How important is it for you to have peace of mind? What is it worth to you to take your case and put it in expert hands, and making sure that you have an expert that's going to guide you on this journey? So those are just some considerations to think about, and whether or not you'll want to hire an immigration attorney. All right. Okay. I think you're very welcome. Okay. You're very welcome, and you're very welcome also. Yeah, you're welcome too. All right. And I think I have one more question here. Do you know how cases are processed? I do know how they are processed and how our case number is assigned. I've been at quite a few immigration conferences. I've had the opportunity to speak directly with high level immigration officers. I was just at a conference in Chicago recently, and we got to speak with USCIS officials, and we were talking about their processing of the cases. And so the immigration files go to a mail center, a lockbox, and then there's a mail room that scans the files, and then the files are assigned to an immigration officer to review. They are supposed to do it in an orderly fashion, but the reality is based on the case type and when the case was scanned and who scanned the case and the officer assigned, it can impact the wait times. But they are supposed to review them in the order that they are received. So, but the reality is that we can send immigration cases on the same day, and one will get a decision sooner than another. It's just part of it. So there is a little bit of randomness or disorganization, right? All right. I think yeah, and so that is the petition. That's one of the parts of that first step, the petition. So you'll hear things like I-130, CR1, IR1, spouse visa, consular processing, all basically saying it's the petition and the process to bring a spouse. Okay. All right. I think I have everybody. Is the lockbox in Phoenix the only lockbox? It depends on the case type. There are some cases that the lockbox is only in Phoenix, but it's important to know that that is really a lockbox, a mailroom where they're processing everything. Okay. All right. All right. I need to jet. I have a busy day. I think I got through all the questions that came in here before the end of our program, though. I will be here again next week at 11 a.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. Thank you all for being here. I hope that this was helpful. If you'll give a thumbs up or a heart or whatever to let me know that this was helpful for you today. If you know anyone who needs assistance with the immigration process, please send them our way. We have, like I said, the free resource center, immigrationforcouples.com. And if you are needing assistance with your immigration case, I'm always happy to speak with you during a consultation. 317-217-5040, and Lisa and Taylor will help get you scheduled. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.